you've learnt how to manually drop both torpedo and dive bombers, we're going to look at the next step in your CV career. That is damage stacking. One of the questions I get asked most is how can I do more damage in my CV? For CVs we are slightly limited as we have to fly our planes back and forth to reload each time. However, both of our armaments, that is the torpedo and the dive bombers, do have the potential to set fires or floods. This is where damage can get pretty lucrative. Both fires and floods cause damage over time, or DOT. Damage over time can rack up some pretty big damage numbers if you cycle them appropriately. That's what we're going to be looking at today. So here we have an isolated New York. As you see, my dive bombers move in, and we're going to drop on him first. At the same time, I move a second squadron of attacking planes, that is my torpedo planes, a little bit closer. My first attack with dive bombers yields 2 fires. Now that New York has 2 choices. He can either let those fires rage on, in which case we will get damage for that, or he has to repair. Let's see what he does. To monitor the situation, what I do is I keep an eye on my top right damage indicator. So long as this is going up, it's safe to assume that that New York is on fire. Both visually and through the damage indicator, we can see that the New York has put out the fire. Based on the nation of the ship, the damage control party is going to be active for between 5 and 20 seconds. While the damage control party is active, we're not going to be able to set another fire or flood. We need to wait out this time period until we attack again. Now that the damage control party has gone down and the torpedoes have hit, you can see we've landed a flood. Since the New York is recently repaired, he's going to be unable to repair this flood, and we get to stack damage over time. This is the basics of damage stacking. You set a fire or a flood, you wait for a repair, and then you set another one. This ensures that you're always doing damage over time. So now you understand the basics of damage stacking. There's a few ways you can make this even more effective. Firstly, flooding does more damage over time than what fire does. Attacking with dive bombers and fire first also has the opportunity to knock out anti-air mounts, which means your torpedoes will have a better chance of getting in and attacking the ship. So if you can force a ship to repair a fire and then set a flood, you will tick more damage. However, ships are less likely to repair one fire than what they are to repair one flood. Depending on the rotation of your planes, aka which ones you have in the air at the time, sometimes you will need to set the flood first and then go back for fires. It really is dependent on what you're trying to attack, where it is in the map, and where your planes are. While damage stacking is a great method for getting some high damage numbers, please consider that at the end of the day, you are trying to win the game. Stacking damage doesn't always lead to the win. Sometimes it's going to be more important to just straight out kill the ship, particularly in situations where that ship has the potential to kill one of your allies. This is something you'll work out as you progress with World of Warships and your CV career.